Ere the sledges with the bells, silver bells, with a world of merriment their melody foretells, how they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night, while the stars that oversprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle with their crystalline delight, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme, to the tintinnabulation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells. Hear the mellow wedding bells, golden bells, with what a world of happiness their harmony foretells. Through the balmy air of night, how they ring out their delight from the molten golden notes, all in tune. What a liquid ditty floats to the turtle doves that listens while she gloats on the moon. Oh, from out the sounding cells, what a gush of euphony velocity sea wells, how it swells, how it dwells, oh, on the future how it tells of the rapture that impels to the swinging and the ringing of the bells, bells, bells of the bells, 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 to the rhyming and the chiming of the bells. Hear the loud alarm bells, brazen bells, what a tale of terror now their turbulency tells in the startled air of night, how they scream out their affright, too much horrified to speak, oh, how only shriek, shriek out of tune, and like clamorous appealing to the mercy of the fire and the mad exploitation with the death and frantic fire, leaping higher, higher, higher with a desperate desire and a resolute endeavor, now to sit or never on the side of the pale-faced moon. Oh, the bells, 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 what a tale their terror tells of despair, how they clang and clash and roar with a horror they outpour of the bosom of the clanging air. Yet the ear it fully knows by the twanging and the clanging how the danger ebbs and flows, as the ear distinctly tells in the jingling and the wrangling how the danger sinks and swells by the singing and the swelling and the anger of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, and the clamor and the clangor of the bells. Hear the tolling of the bells, iron bells, what a world of solemn through their monody compels in the silence of the night, how we shiver with affright at the melancholy menace of their tone, for every sound that floats from the rust within their throats, and a groan in the people, all the people that dwell in steeple alone, who are tolling, tolling, tolling in their muffled monotone, feel to glory in so rolling on the human heart of stone. They are neither man nor woman, they are neither brute nor human, they are ghouls. And their king is who tolls, and he tolls and rolls a paean from the bells, and his mercy bosom swells with the paean of the bells, and he dances and he yells, keeping time, 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 in a sort of rhythmic rhythm, to the paean of the bells, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme, to the throbbing of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, to the sobbing of the bells, keeping time, 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 as he knells, knells, now, in happy runic rhyme, to the rolling of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, to the tolling of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, 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 to the moaning and the groaning of the bells. In the greenest of our valleys, by good angels tenated, once a fair and stately place, radiant palace reared its head. In the monarch thought's dominion it stood there, never seraph spread a pinion over fabric half so fair. Banners yellow, glorious golden, on its roof did float and flow. All this was in the olden time long ago. And every gentle air that dallied in that sweet day, along the ramparts plumed and pallid, a winged odor went away. Wanderers in that happy valley, though two luminous windows saw, spirits moving musically to a lute's well-tuned law. Round about a throne were sitting, for a grind, and state his glory well befitting the ruler of the realm was seen. And with pearl and ruby glowing was the fair palace door, through which came flowing, 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 and sparkling evermore a troop of echoes, whose sweet duty was but to sing, in voices of surpassing beauty, the wit and wisdom of their king. But evil things in robes of sorrow assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn, for never morrow shall dawn upon him desolate, and round about his home the glory that bustled, lushed, and bloomed, in but a dim remembered story of the old time entombed. And travelers now within that valley, through the red-lit window see vast forms that move fantastically to a distant chord and melody, while like the ghastly river through the pale door a hideous throng rush out forever, and laugh and smile no more. Lo, Death has reared himself a throne in a strange city lying alone, far down within the dim west, where the good and the bad and the worst and the best have gone to their eternal rest. There are shrines and palaces and towers, and time-eaten towers that tremble not, resemble nothing that is ours, around by lifting winds forgot. Residingly beneath the sky, the melancholy waters lie. No rays from the holy heaven come down on the long night time of that town, but light from out the lurid sea streams up the torrent silently, gleams up the pinnacles far and free, of dooms, up spires, up kingly halls, of fames, up Babylon like walls, up shadowy long forgotten bowers of sculptured ivory and stone-tapped flowers, up many and many a marvelous shrine whose wreaths phrases intertwine, the vole, the violet, and the vine. Residingly beneath the sky, the melancholy waters lie, so blend the torrents and chateaus there, that all seem pendulous in air, while from a proud tower in the town, Death looks gigantically down. Their open fanes and gaping graves yawn level with the luminous waves, but not the riches there that lie in each idol's diamond eye. Not the gaily jeweled dead tempt the waters from their bed, for no ripples curl, alas, along the wilderness of glass. No swellings tell that winds may be of some far off happier sea. No heavings hint that winds have on seas less hideously serene. But lo, a stir is in the air. The wave, there is a moment there, as if the towers had thrust aside, and slightly sinking the dull tide, as if their tops had feebly given a void within the filmy heaven. The waves have now a redder glow, the hours are breathing faint and low, and when amid no earthly moans down that town shall settle hence, hell rising from 1,000 thrones shall do it in reverence. It was many, many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And as this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. She was a child and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, and I and my Annabel Lee. With a love with the winged seraphis of heaven coveted her and me, and this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a cold wind out of the cloud by night chilling my Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her far away from me to shut her up in the sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went evening her and me. Yes, this was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever deserve my love from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tides I lay down by my side of my darling, my darling, my life and my bride, and her sepulchre there by the sea, and her tomb by the side of the sea. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I'd muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a cease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating to some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or Madame, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and you came rapping. So faintly you came tapping at my chamber door. That I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal had ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore! This I whispered, and an echo murmured back to the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. Back into my chamber, turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon I heard again a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then. What, there it is, this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flit and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not at least obsession made he, not an instant stopped or stayed he, but within mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stirred decorum of his countenance it wore. Through thy crest be shone and shaven thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim, ancient raver, wandering through the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little reverency bore. But we cannot help agreeing that no living human being has ever yet blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust upon his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven, sitting lovely on the placid bust, spoke only one word, as if his soul in that one word did he outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered. Still, I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till the song's one burden bore, till the dirges of new hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling. Straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of a bird and bust and door. Then upon my velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking with this ominous bird of yore, with this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaging and guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining, and the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, shall press, ah, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer, swung by angels whose faint footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch! I cried, Thou hast God thee by these angels he has sent me. Respite, respite, Neithant, from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kindly fenth, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest taught thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desperate land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there a balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by the heaven that bends above us, by the God we both adore, tell the soul with sorrow laden if, within the distance a den, if shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels called Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiends, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest in the night's plutonium shore. Leave no black plume as a token of what lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, and quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak out from my heart, and take thy form off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still and sitting on the pallid bust of Palladius just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out of that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted never